Hey, what's up, Aries fam? Welcome to Soul Horizons Tarot. I am doing a general reading for the sign of Aries. That does include Sun, Moon, Venus, and Rising. This is a general spread, so not everyone will resonate with this reading. So just take what applies and ignore the rest. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, all my information is in the description box below. Please feel free to leave a like, comment, share, or subscribe. And we'll just get started. This is part one, because I'm trying to make shorter videos for those of you who don't have time. I have a really difficult time not getting lost in the story. So my readings are pretty lengthy. So this is a shorter version. If this does resonate for you and you are interested in hearing more, then I will be posting a part 2 that breaks everything down further, gives more clarifiers, and what other? I forgot to grab my other deck, so just give me 1 second. Um, that I don't. Oh, no! Don't drop that. So yeah, this is the shorter version. Now, I usually do shuffle on screen, but being that my readings are already so long, I just leave this part up and shuffle during the clarifiers. It just saves a little bit of time anyway. All right, so let's start off with I don't even know why I got these out, because I don't actually need them until the second part of the reading. Okay, so the overall energy is the Sun card. That is Leo energy. As far as major signs, of course, the signs of the cards are not, necessary really. I may be saying signs that you're not dealing with. It's just the energy of the card, as well as the gender of the card, is irrelevant. So just keep that in mind. So we have Leo, we have Taurus, we have Cancer, Pisces, mainly Cancer, but the star is Aquarius, and then an earth sign. Well, a fire and an earth sign, so Aries, Leo, Sag, or Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. So yeah, the overall energy is like giving me an idea of what the reading is about. And with the sun there, that would represent for you, of course, we would find out more with the clarifiers, but it seems to be a time of liberation, possibly, illumination, things being brought out into the light. It can be looking at these other cards. It does appear that you're going through kind of a difficult time. And the sun would represent, happier days ahead, a change for the better, victory and success, and freedom. It's a major arcana, so it is a more powerful energy, more long lasting than the minor, which would be like the numbered cards, the numbered suits, rather. So, going off of that, we move into your current energy situation. And like I said, it seems like you're struggling in some manner with the Five of Pentacles. The Five of Pentacles can be a time of financial struggle, um, feeling abandoned, feeling neglected, rejected in some way, feeling kind of left out in the cold, in a sense. If it's not a financial hardship that you're going through to the extreme, it would be, you know, um, right, like poverty, or maybe needing financial assistance to some capacity. Um, it's also a card. It is a card about lack. So even though you may have everything you need, there is something that's making you feel like it's a struggle to just do basic everyday things. Um, Now, being a minor arcana, this may be very short lived. It may just be a phase that you're kind of going through, just a dark period. Um, because usually these readings only extend for about a month or two, and I would say closer to a few weeks to a month. So this may just be kind of a period of time where you're taking things a little harder than usual, energetically, emotionally, physically. We do have a mother and child, so there may be that involved, a parent and child kind of dynamic where you're struggling to make ends meet, or maybe you're struggling to be a provider. And also, it could be health related, um, going through some type of sickness or illness that's got that has you feeling under the weather, but also just down on yourself or down on your situation. Um, I can also talk about being dependent on someone or feeling a little bit overwhelmed because there are others that are depending on you and kind of taking on that weight. And so that's just your current energy and situation. What's crossing you as a challenge or obstacle is the Page of Wands. Now, that can be, again, a page can represent a child. So there may be a child involved, or children, or a younger energy. Doesn't necessarily have to be a child, but somebody very youthful or childlike, maybe in maturity level. It could be specifically a fire sign, but doesn't have to be. But we would have to clarify that just to get more information. And I would flip that card, but I want to keep it as basic and brief as possible for those that just want to know, you know, short, sweet, to the point reading. But this could also represent a period of, not taking any action, maybe losing motivation, something that no longer inspires you or you're struggling to be inspired by, kind of a lack of. It's the Page of Wands would be that the first initial steps to starting something new and exciting. With it as a challenge or obstacle, this would be kind of like a lack of that, where you lose your motivation. Um, Maybe there's actions that need to be taken but are not being taken by you or by somebody else. Perhaps that's why you're in that Five of Pentacles, because you feel in some way like someone has uh, neglected you or their responsibilities or the burden, like you're taking on all the burden and they're not taking action to help support you through that. It can also be a loss or lack of desire, and that can be physical desire or otherwise emotional, mental. But mainly, I would see this as inaction. Basically, there's something that you are not taking action on, or that somebody else is not. There's no momentum there. There's no forward movement. So it's kind of like a stall, which kind of makes sense with some of these other cards. Um, you're just kind of stuck in a funk or in a period of very little movement or progress, and which is completely, you know, not a comfortable space for an Aries to be. Um, because we're meant to be the first of the zodiac, we charge forward. So this is probably very uncomfortable to you, um, on a level that some signs could probably be okay with, or at least um, handle a little bit better. But up here we have your focus mind, so your surface mind. So this is where your focus is and what you want out of the situation. And with the Wheel of Fortune here, this would be like wanting or being focused on a change, a stroke of luck, a better outcome, for fate to turn in your fortune, basically, for fate to um, look kindly upon you and change for the better. Because obviously, I mean, the Wheel of Fortune can be a good change of fate or it can be a bad turn of events. And obviously, that's not something you would be focused on unless you're in a very negative, cynical, kind of pessimistic. Um, Hold on one second. I just heard a. All right, sorry about that. One of my kids got out of bed. All right, so yeah, so focused on a change of luck, uh, change of fortune. And I was explaining that the only way that could be in the negative was if you're just focused on the negative. But I don't feel that. I feel like you're more so hoping for things to turn around in your favor here. Maybe a certain outcome to be revealed to you, because there is a sense of waiting with that card here that I feel would signify inaction or stagnancy, a loss of desire and motivation. You may be just kind of hoping things get better, and obviously that's not. Uh, I mean, sometimes it is kind of out of your control because that's what the Wheel of Fortune is. It's usually something that is completely out of anybody's control. It's divine intervention or just fate overall, karma. So waiting for something to change is not going to change the situation. You have to actually take action towards it. But it seems like with the Five of Pentacles there that you're not in the right space to do that. It may be kind of like out of your hands, or at least it feels that way, and you're just kind of stuck hoping things get better or focused on this idea that eventually um, the universe will stop taking a crap on you. Um, so we're going to move on to your shadow mind or hidden truth. Now, this can be something hidden from you or by you subconsciously. So maybe your subconscious is talking to you, your higher self, basically, your intuition, but you're trying to ignore it, or it's just information that you do not have that would benefit you to know. So where your focus is versus where your focus needs attention. And here we have the moon card, and this is the sign of Cancer. Again, we had Leo, a fire sign possibly, Aries, Leo, Sag, and some people see this as Sagittarius card, and then Cancer down here with the moon. Now, the moon can literally represent the subconscious. So there may be something that you are not wanting to look at, you're not wanting to acknowledge. Um, there could be some trauma here, some fear. Um, but the moon, unlike the sun, which illuminates things, the moon can you know, cast things in a light that is not the truth, basically. Um, so there could be a bit of illusion or delusion here. Um, and again, this would be a card that I'd want to clarify um, to see what that's coming from. This can also be, like I said, trauma-based uh, mentality. It can represent depression, which very well could be going along with. So this would basically be saying you need to take better care of your mental and emotional health for something that you need to know. But with the moon in in the space or the placement of the unknown, it's basically confirming that there is information you do not have, or you're not seeing something in the correct light. Um, it's kind of like a murky area here, um, and it could be like just a space you go to when you don't want to deal with things or when you're overwhelmed. So again, that's definitely something I would clarify just to get more information about what that is. What is this? What is this that you are not seeing clearly? What is this that is kind of overshadowed by the moon? Um, hopefully, he's not getting out again. So moving on to recent past. Now, this can be days, weeks, months, even years ago, but it's something from the past that is still in some way affecting or influencing your current energy and situation. So you're still carrying this with you. Um, and we have the star, which is Aquarius energy. Now, the star is a hope, a wish. Um, it is a period of reflection and healing. Um, it literally is called the wish card, and it's usually very, very lucky. One of like the star and the sun are two of the really the best cards in tarot. Um, hold on. I apologize again. They only seem to want to get up when I'm doing a reading. Um, the star, right? So, um, a wish fulfillment or a desire. So there's something from the past that you had a lot of hope in, and maybe you still do, but being that you're in this Five of Pentacles energy, it seems like maybe you're losing faith in this. Um, it's funny how we have all the celestial, we have the sun, the star, and the moon. So maybe it was, again, I would need to clarify, but maybe it was a case of being a little bit too head in the clouds, kind of idealistic, maybe. Like you had this idea of something turning out a certain way or a certain um, event or series of events that would turn out in a particular way. And it seems like from these cards here in your current that did not happen. Um, but again, that this is still attached to you. So in some way, this hope, this wish, this reflection that happened, maybe even this period of healing is still influencing you. Now, with the Five of Pentacles, maybe it's you that abandoned something. You that stopped taking action or that stopped dreaming about this, and that is why you are in this Five of Pentacles, because you either had to or you felt you had to, or just certain things happened that had you letting go of this for a little while. Um, with the Moon card here, this very well may be something that you yourself kind of got it in your head a little too much, that you know again, taking that pessimistic, cynical kind of energy, like you made problems where there were none, or you over exaggerated, or you just didn't see something clearly. And it's not always, again, this could be very much subconscious, not something that you were um, aware of that you were doing. So moving on into what's coming towards you in the near future, without clarifying, this is the Knight of Pentacles, could be an earth sign coming towards you, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Um, but I would see the Knight of Pentacles as very slow progress. The Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving knight in tarot. He assesses, he analyzes, he calculates, very much that Virgo energy, um, where they have to plot out the course before they, you know, take any action forward. It can be to the point where there's a lot of stops and starts, and that slow, almost. I mean, to an Aries, this would be a death sentence, because this would require a lot of patience, and Aries are not known for their patience. This also could be a message, though, because knights are seen as messages or messengers. Maybe somebody that you've been waiting to hear from, or an organization, or some type of news or reply back from somebody or something. But this is kind of that steady, slow but steady progress. Um, and not to sound like a broken record, but again, we would have to clarify what exactly this is referring to. But as slow as the Knight of Pentacles is, as arduous as um, the journey or the waiting period, it's also very reliable, very dependable. The Knight of Wands can be very inconsistent. The Knight of Pentacles is very devoted. So if this is a person coming towards you, um, they're very um, set. They don't give up easily. In fact, it hurts them to do so. It's an offense for them to just give up without having finished what they set out to do. But again, this could be a message that it could be financial news as well, because it is the Pentacles. Um, I definitely want to clarify that, because I mean, that's not a whole lot of information. It definitely does feel very slow moving. And maybe, I don't want to like conjecture here too much, but it could be that whatever this is you are hoping for. But let's move on. We can cover that in the second part of the video. So your advice for the situation is the Nine of Swords. Now, the Nine of Swords is a card about mental anxiety, stress, worry, fear. I don't know if you can see her. She seems to be like weeping, and then you have these figures, almost like phantoms in the background, that represent, kind of the monsters or the worries in this person's mind. So I believe going off of that card, your advice here is kind of to release all of that. Um, I mean, like I said earlier, this could very well be something health related, and your physical body is not well, and this is like your mental your mental health. Because the pinnacles can represent the physical body, whereas the swords will represent the mind. And again, with the Nine of Swords, this is, sleepless nights, um, the things that keep you up at night, just those anxieties that just circle around and around and around, and you never get any rest from. So your advice would be to release that, and this could even be, your own thoughts, your own, like tearing yourself down, or not, giving too much power to negative thinking. Not only about your situation, but your capability or your ability. You're giving it too much power here with the Nine of Swords, and it could very well lead to further dysfunctions health-wise, whatever aspect that is, whether that's mental or emotional or physical or all of the above, because obviously one of those things can affect all of the others. It can affect your relationships. It can affect your work. It can affect your social obligations. It can affect your self-esteem. So definitely letting go of that and getting yourself in a better headspace, because this is right beside the moon. So this would tell me, from just what I have here, without clarifying, that there's definitely some things that are putting you in a pretty dark headspace, a pretty dark, mental attitude. But again, this could be short-lived. I mean, this may only be, um, a week or a few days, but it's important enough to show up here. So it's important enough to address. Because obviously I ask for the most important messages for you. So moving on, we have outside or external influences, and this can be people, energies, or situations that either already are or will be affecting or influencing you in some way, whether negatively or positively. So this is not you, it is something outside of you. Um, and we have the Eight of Cups. And this is actually the first of the cups. You actually have quite a few major arcana, 5 major arcana. So this is pretty significant. I mean, the energy you have might be short-lived, but the changes that it's invoking or evoking is pretty significant. But anyway, back to the Eight of Cups. This is somebody choosing to walk away. It's not usually an easy choice. It's not usually a choice that is just, impulsive. It's usually something that is kind of long-standing. Somebody has felt a certain way for a while, and they finally choose to walk away from it. Now, that could be a relationship, that could be a job, that could be um, responsibility, um, a way of life, a way of thinking. It could be just about anything, but this would be significant to you. Somebody's leaving or somebody's choice to move on, to leave something behind. And again, we do have that card of feeling rejected. So this very well may be that somebody chose. And of course, this is a general reading, so maybe this is. Well, I can't say that because then you could just flip it whenever you felt like it wasn't yours. If you are a cross watcher, that would apply. Because if you're dealing with an Aries and you don't understand what's going on with them. But anyway, so yeah, this would be somebody choosing to walk away, and maybe that's why you're feeling rejected. You're feeling abandoned. Somebody made a choice because they felt. Usually, the Eight of Cups is a feeling of emotional unfulfillment. Something's missing, and it's usually kind of like searching for that missing piece. Because they have decided, whether that's true or not, they've made the decision that it's not where they're at. So that's influencing you or affecting you. Now, this could be the news that comes in, if that's relevant, if that hasn't already happened. You may receive news that somebody is choosing to walk away from a situation. But these two, it doesn't have to be related. It could be two separate things going on at the same time. Again, clarifying will kind of clear that up, or at least maybe give a little bit more insight. So, best case scenario, this is not the outcome. This is the outcome that would best suit you, for your best interest, your greatest good, or your highest potential. So, this is what is wanted for you out of this situation. We use this to kind of compare with the outcome, the probable outcome, to see if you're on the right track. So we go from the Five of Pentacles to the Ten of Pentacles. So the best case scenario here for you is to expand, to flourish, to nurture your Five Pentacles. Because if you're a nerd like me, you would see the Five of Pentacles as like the tiny little bit of sliver of health life left in your health bar. And the Ten of Pentacles would be like a full. So it's regaining that stability. This is a card about family, um, financial success, whatever that means to you. Not everybody's version of financial security is the same as someone else's. But this is a feeling of personal success, personal security, whatever would make you feel stable and productive and safe and comfortable. The Ten of Pentacles is the highest you can go in that suit. So that would be like reaching the highest point that you could possibly make. And again, that can be financial. That can be within a business or a career. That can be within a family, like a family unit. Um, but it is definitely a feeling of safety and security. Yeah. Dependability as well. Having a strong support system. Maybe mending something that's clearly right now feels broken. That doesn't necessarily mean a reconciliation with someone. Sometimes you have to let someone go in order to create a stronger a stronger environment, a safer environment. So again, with clarifiers, we'll see what exactly that means for you. But again, we go from the 5 to the 10, so multiplying, expanding, becoming abundant, becoming self-reliant, self-sufficient, to the extent that you're not in that energy anymore. Okay, so then we have the most probable outcome here with the Hierophant. Now, probable because I cannot give you definitive, especially in a general reading. We all possess free will, so at any time you can change, alter, or even somebody else's decisions and choices and actions can change or alter the outcome. So just keep that in mind. But the Hierophant, without clarifiers, to me would kind of line up pretty well with that Ten of Pentacles. Um, the Hierophant is about tradition, laws, rules, ideals, the things that you grew up and learn from a young age and even later that you base your values and your own moral code by, excuse me. It is also a card of higher learning, commitment. It is sometimes considered the marriage card, but it would be your very typical, like traditional type of marriage where everybody fulfills their roles within the connection. Um, and I don't necessarily think that's your outcome here. I'm just more so saying it's your version of what is best for you and what is right for you. It can also talk about somebody that has very high standards. So it'll be kind of interesting to see because if I'm just going off intuition here, I think this is some type of commitment or contract, a contract to an individual or an organization, an institution, um, and making some type of promise or vow or reaching some type of conclusion. Now, again, that could go in a good way or a bad way because the Hierophant can be very restrictive because it is very much about order over chaos. It can also be like a spiritual leader, um, a pastor, somebody that has very high like morals or values, but they also have good intentions. So I don't know how that would play into an outcome. I just, more than anything, I see that as some type of commitment. Now, whether you make that or somebody else makes that, I'm not certain, but it kind of feels like you do. Um, it is a Taurus energy. So again, it kind of falls in line with that Ten of Pentacles. So that is the short version of your reading. Overall, I feel like this is headed towards a better outcome for you. Um, there's going to be, I feel, there's going to be some speed bumps along the way, maybe some deviations, maybe some um, uncomfortably slow or long processes that you're going to have to go through with that king, or excuse me, the knight. Um, but overall, with the sun being here for the overall energy, I feel like this is a lightening or a brightening of this energy that we were getting here with the 5 and the moon and the nine of swords. Even though that is your advice, it's telling you to release that. So you are in the five of pentacles, but you're also in the nine of swords, which is that mental anxiety, overwhelming thoughts, creating almost a prison for you, a mental prison. And this would be like physical boundaries, physical binds. In the extreme, like I said, this could be poverty, this could be homelessness, this could be, maybe having to go back to living with your parents or needing financial assistance, or just being in that energy of like helplessness. So, yeah, if you're interested, if this resonated for you, please leave a like, share your story in the comments. I'd love to hear it back from you. If you want to know more, like I said, I will be posting part two where we will be flipping these cards and I'll be doing some more clarifiers. Disclaimer, it is long. I do get lost in the details. I haven't figured out a way personally to cut it down, and I mean, if you don't like that type of reading, there's other readers. I appreciate the people who do um, stick around, but I also understand that not everybody has the time or the patience for what I do or how I do it. Um, but yeah, I'll either see you there, but if not, thank you so much for stopping by. Again, all my information for a personal reading is in the description, but you can also go to that page and like it, follow it through Facebook, and just keep up with me there. I don't post a whole lot. I should, but um, I have a lot of other things going on, and I'm going to hush and let you guys go. I'll talk to you guys soon. You guys have a great night, and thank you so much.